Hi everyone, we're going to find the second derivative in terms of x and y using implicit differentiation, and this is a hyperbola, so I'm just going to go through, and this is going to be 2x minus 2y times the derivative of y equals 0. So this would be 2x equals 2y times the derivative of y. So the derivative of y equals 2x over 2y. 2's cancel. So the first derivative is x over y. Now, before we go on to the second derivative, I want to note that, because I'm not going to start here, I'm going to start here. And what I can do from here is factor out a 2 and get x minus y times y prime equals 0. And when you divide both sides by 2, you're just left with x minus y times y prime equals 0. Alright, and I'm going to start with this when I do my second derivative. Okay, so I'm going to write that down again. X minus y times y prime equals 0. And I'm going to take the second derivative. So the first one is just going to be 1 minus, and I'm just going to write him down, and derivative of this piece is the second derivative, and then we're going to have minus again because you have the minus there, or you could do it like this and put the plus. We're going to take the derivative of y, which is 1 times y prime. And you also take the derivative that's 1, and then that's going to be y prime again. And all this is going to be 0. So this is going to be basically 1 minus y times the second derivative of y plus y prime squared, because there's 2 of them here. Alright, now I'm going to substitute back in my derivative, my first derivative, because I want to get rid of this. I'm trying to solve for this guy. So I'm just going to write this down again. And by the way, this is going to turn to minus. Let me distribute the negative. So minus, and this is going to be xy squared, because remember we already solved for our first derivative. Alright, so we get 1 minus y times second derivative of y minus x squared over y squared equals 0. Now on the next slide, I'm going to clear the fractions, clear this fraction. This is all over 1 by multiplying through by y squared. So I'm going to multiply everything by y squared. And when you do that, you're going to get y squared minus y cubed times the second derivative of y minus x squared equals 0. Now I'm going to move everything over except for this piece. So we get negative y cubed double derivative of y equals x squared minus y squared. And I'm going to divide both sides by this, so it's going to be negative y cubed. Now what I can do is I can bring the negative up top here. If I bring it up front, I can call this y squared minus x squared. Write this as y cubed. And the reason I want to do that, so this is your second derivative, is I know that we know that x squared minus y squared, this part right here, is 16. So what you're going to end up getting is negative 16 over y cubed. Because if you recall, our first equation was x squared minus y squared equals 16. So I'm just plugging that in right here. And that's all. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.